Hello everyone, this is Matthew Frailey with BreakpointTrades.com. We've been bringing you advanced technical analysis, market commentary, trade ideas, and mechanical systems. And we've been doing this since 2003 for individual traders and professional institutions, some of which we consult with on a weekly basis. Anyway, today's topic is going to be much more condensed instead of a 40 to 50 minute video. I'm going to focus on an area that actually looks pretty fantastic right now. Get back to that in a minute. But as you know, as far as the general market, we've been in this correction. This is the chart of the NASDAQ with some of these breadth indicators that I've been discussing. Since at least mid-November, market's been in a correction here. And most recently, since late December into today, it's January 19th. But besides on the indexes, we've had historic negative breadth. You can see on the new 52-week lows how high these have been spiking. So under the surface, under the market, we've had kind of like a cancer. We've had a huge number of stocks that are getting taken to the woodshed or Christmas tree type patterns. In fact, on the NASDAQ, over 40% of the stocks are down more than 50% from their highs. Yet the index itself, is only, 5% from the highs. So it's being masked by a lot of the larger names. But anyway, it's been tough out there. A lot of weakness under the surface. Again, you all know that. But one area really starting to stand out. Commodities obviously have done well. But an area that I'm going to focus on in this newsletter is precious metals. Here's my corny slide thumbnail for the YouTube video. Again, I'm fairly new to making this kind of stuff, guys, so don't laugh. But again, precious metals, they had a great day. The patterns are really starting to set up. Gold has a beautiful coil setting up and a potential big cup and handle on the monthly chart. So that's what I'm going to focus in on in this targeted video. Again, lately, commodities have outperformed the market, especially the energy area. And commodities actually outperformed last year. Taking a look at the CRB to the S&P ratio. Remember, that's the commodity index. It's fairly strong weighting to energy, though. But you can see it's been in this long downtrend since 2011. But the momentum has been waning. You have it now trying to base here. The ratio here with the moving average ribbon I like to use. You can see how it started to flip here. And it's definitely an area where we could start seeing this curl up. Now, that's implying that if this starts to go to the upside, which it looks like it, the commodities are going to start vastly outperforming the general market. Again, we've already seen that with energy. We saw it with select commodities last year, such as uranium, some of the ag area, and even under currently the agriculture area, DBA S&P ratio. You can see how it has a beautiful base here on the ratio, and the moving average ribbon really looks like it wants to flip to the upside. But anyway, let's go back to precious metals. First off, gold. This is a weekly chart of gold. You can see it's setting up to a beautiful coil type pattern. Okay, energy is building. You can also see the same coil action on the RSI. And one thing you'll find, guys, and I've found this over the last 20 years over analyzing precious metals, the stocks always lead. Okay, so the metal always plays follow the leader to the stocks. So that's why I plot the GDX-GLD ratio. So what you want to see is the ratio curl up. And I find it useful to draw simple trend lines on the ratio. You can see how it's trying to curl up here, trying to break this trend line, and along with this coiled setup. So really looks set up on a longer term basis. Here's gold on another weekly chart. Again, you can see this beautiful coiled triangle pattern. The same coil can be drawn on the RSI indicator. Remember, you can draw patterns on your indicators like this. It's a nice way to do it. So again, gold, after launching out of this basing pattern in 2019, had an initial nice move up. And since mid-2020, It's underperformed the market and has been in this long consolidation. But it now looks like it may finally play catch up. Commodities had a good year in 2021, outperforming the general market as the DBC commodity ETF was up 44% versus the S&P 27%. Gold languished, but I think this year gold will now catch up. Here's a monthly chart of gold. And I drew this up a good year ago, but something to consider. First off, here the gold bull market from the early 2000s all the way to 2011. Then we had the initial bear market, a long consolidation base where we formed this multi-year rounded base. We broke out of this again in 2019, initial move up, and we've been in this consolidation. Like I said, you can see a coil on the daily and weekly. On the monthly here, sort of like a handle, ABC type pattern of a large cup and handle. Notice your moving average ribbons are starting to pinch now. And when the moving average ribbons squeeze like this, like you see here, that's when energy is pent up for a huge move. That's what we got here. They're not pinched like this, but they're set up here enough for a potential move. So I think there's potential for gold to finally break out of this type of pattern. Here's the daily view of gold. You can see a coil here on the daily. Big move up today. Nice volume. Gold essentially had a double bottom back here. Retested the support area. Again, it's been a whole lot of chop over the last 8-9 months. But now it's looking quite nice. We've been forming a series of higher lows. And look at the ratio. Look how it vastly outperformed gold here recently, breaking this trend line. That's what you want to see. You want to see the stocks lead. If one was long gold, you wanted a tight stop, I think you could place it right here at this higher low, say around 1880. Regarding silver, I'm not going to look at the weekly or monthly, but here's the daily view of silver. You had essentially a perfect double bottom back here, as you can see. Rallied up, stalled at the 50-day in late December, pulled back. I wanted to see it form a higher low, which it did. Gold, by the way, did the same thing and has rallied up nicely. All right. Now, the thing that really looks good to me are the stocks, and that's what's important. So first off, taking a look at the ETF GDX. I also like GDXJ and SIL and SILJ. So here's daily GDX. You can see how it had a double bottom back here early mid-December. Rallied up, formed that higher low. I mentioned that could have been a swing stop opportunity. Big power move today on massive volume. GDX was up over 7% today. That's the largest candle you see on this daily chart. Obviously stalling a little at this 200-day moving average, but again, I think it's set up to now continue going. It may need to consolidate and pause a little bit, but I think those will be buying opportunities. You can notice your ratio here, breaking the ratio trend line to the upside. Again, what you don't want to see is gold completely or GDX completely just reverse here, but a day or two of just sideways light volume action would be just fine. Again, for GDX, you could put a tight stop for a swing trade right here at 30.50, this higher low. SILJ, one of the silver minor ETFs, had some nice support action here recently. Big volume today, taking out resistance. Looks good. That's a way to own the silver stocks if you don't want to play with the individuals. You can see how the ratios turned up nicely. Now let's look at some individual names. AUY on the daily. Nice move up here recently. Big volume today. Notice your ratio. It broke about a week ago. Back tested the trend line. But what really looks good on a lot of these gold stocks are the weekly charts. So last week in my newsletters and on the weekend and on Monday, I showed all these weekly charts. So here's the weekly view of AUY. Again, it's been downtrending since mid-2020. Finally formed this bull wedge pattern, starting to break this wedge as of today. Notice your ratio, AUY GLD ratio. Clean break so far of this ratio. That's a good sign. Obviously the moving average ribbon hasn't flipped back yet, but this pattern looks decent. It's really good. Next, GOLD, not the metal, but the stock. Same type pattern, bull falling wedge. Beautiful ratio here, trying to curl up. The initial target of these wedges longer term, you simply take the measurement of the back of the wedge, add it to here. Again, that's like symmetry. So that would give you an initial measured move up here near 24. Over time, remember this is a weekly chart. Gold on the daily. Stock, again, had a double bottom just like the metal. Big move up today, launching out of a basing type pattern. RGLD, one of the larger ones, just starting to break out of a coil here on the daily. Notice your ratio also curling up. Also notice your moving average ribbon. They're all pinched together. That means energy gets pent up, and that's usually what you see when you have a consolidation pattern like this coil. So our RGLD looks really good right now, even after today's slight break. It's very early on the cycle. BVN, we've had it on the watch list for about a week, so we were early on this one, almost about 2 weeks ago, and it's had a really nice move. Again, we had this almost 2 weeks ago. Is a long pick. You can see how the ratio had broken out, so this one's done very well. Looking at some others, SVM, this is a silver stock, I think. This is a weekly chart. Look at this beautiful falling wedge, MACD divergence, nice clean downtrend line on the ratio. Hasn't broken that yet. But this looks bullish, guys. If you simply measure this move, you can add it to here, and you have an easy objective target up in the mid-5 range over time. What does the daily look like? Here's the daily. Nice little double bottom support there, MACD divergence, breaking a trend line. Ratio curled up, breaking this. You could be long this with a swing stop right here at this higher low. Again, we got to clear the 50-day moving average, but it looks like an objective setup. SBSW, another gold, silver type stock, downtrending. Remember my educational video on symmetry? We had a break in symmetry last week here. So that set your bullish move up. This also had started trending up. So this one looks good. It doesn't have that beautiful wedge type pattern, but you have a break in symmetry here. Newmont, it coming out of a beautiful rounded bottom. Now this one has been outperforming since December. You can see the ratio broke its trend line here in early December and has been curling up, making higher highs. So this one is officially uptrending nicely. So it's outperforming. Maybe one to look to buy on a pullback. But if you're long already, you could have an objective swing stop right here or right here, the higher lows at this point. Looking at some others, NG, Nova Gold, another one. This is the daily chart. Divergence, broke a beautiful trend line today. Ratio trend line, big volume. Hecla Mining broke out of a base on nice volume. The ratio is curled up beautifully to the upside. So again, I'm not going to go through all the gold and silver stocks, but that gives you a taste, guys. This area looks pretty good, and I think while gold languished in 2021, I think 2022 could be the year of the gold. We'll see. Anyway, have a good one, everyone, and we'll see what this old crazy market does going forward. Take care.